how you can have magnetic, sexy confidence that attracts and doesn't repel kings. Nicole Lisa, love coach, femininity coach, and intuitive. And I want to share with you a message. I know I used the word sexy on the video, and it's not because I'm going to tell you how to be bang bang, like use all the makeup and use all the things. I'm talking about a confidence that is like a lighthouse that is always on. Okay, even when you're feeling down, even when you're feeling like you're going through something, but it's magnetic. It attracts love, it attracts grace, it attracts respect, it attracts great treatment from the men that you want. And so the reason why I use the word sexy is because it has to do with your life force, like your chi, your prana running through you versus it being clogged or dense. Because as women, I want you to see yourself as a lighthouse. Either like you're beaming out the light or you're like short circuiting. And it has nothing to do with the fact of whether you are dressed well, if you're wearing makeup, because sometimes people tell me, I remember one time somebody says, like, you must be the real deal. Because I used to have a lot of acne back in the day. And if you want to know how I cleared it, I just send me an email. I put my email in my summary. And anyways, I had a lot of acne and I did a video with a lot of acne, no makeup on. And somebody said, hey, you must be the real deal, like calling yourself a love coach with all that acne on and not putting any makeup. And I never took down the comment because I was like, yeah, you know. But it doesn't mean that I've never had moments in my life where I felt insecure and my light was kind of flickering. So today I'm going to talk to you about light, frequency, joy, magnetism, the things that last, not necessarily, I hear like all the different constructs, including surgery that you have to do to still feel magnetic. I don't believe in that. I believe that actually depletes you and it makes, like, if you feel like you have to do it to still be lovable, then it's a light that's flickering and it's not something that really impacts how you feel. Like it impacts how you feel about yourself. And therefore your light starts to flicker because then you start to feel more pressure and more pressure that you have to do all these things to get people's attention, and you're not the chaser, okay? Like you are the magnet. So let's remember that. So with that being said, I'm excited to share this video with you. A confidence that is magnetic, that is sexy, that is attractive, starts with you beaming out self-love, self-respect, self-care. And sincerely, I'm here to tell you as an intuitive, a joy for men, okay? I am not only an intuitive, I'm a coach, psychic, I'm also an engineer, no funny business. I'm not into anything weird, trying to take away people's free will. I work with the angels of love. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I respect people from different religions. And I work with people. Just, this is all about discernment and truth. So you're beaming out joy, magnetism, ease. Like just, you accept yourself so much that either people accept you, right? Or they don't. Now, what I see that's happening online is that we're being taught to either be kind of like accept yourself and be aggressive, accept yourself and, have a disdain or anger towards the world. Accept yourself, but like hide yourself from the world. Like you accept yourself, but you don't fully believe that others are going to accept you. So that's the conundrum. You got to accept yourself. You got to cherish yourself. You got to love yourself. Now, if you've heard these things before, this is where I'm going to make it slightly or like in a deep way different. Because you could understand these things, these concepts at a logical level, okay? But your nervous system can still be in survival for years, more than 15 years, okay? So it's one thing, you would be extremely surprised if you've done spiritual work before at the core level of belief systems that somebody can have trapped in their psyche, in their nervous system, and in their aura, okay? The issue, that gap, is that sometimes you don't commit enough because you're kind of testing these things. You do one chakra cleansing a year and you think that's enough. Well, how about you do it 2 times a week, okay? You got to go deep with these things. Why? Because your love programming is one of the most intense things there is. It's really deeply tied to your sense of survival and replenishment in the world. So if you feel like the reason why I was hesitating here to add the title "sexy" to the video is because ultimately I've come to a conclusion that in the last maybe 20 years or so, we are conditioned to sell sex. And you might not be doing this consciously, but you could be doing it unconsciously. You might think that sex is what's going to keep a man interested in you. And this is unconscious, but it might be in the way that you look. You feel like you have to do things to keep the attraction of a man. And that is not true. So, sex is life force, it's chi, it's prana. Okay. So, it's a joyful yes, an alignment with your frequency. And it's an openness. That's what I want to talk about. So, when we think about life prana, right? It's an openness, okay? It's not just you gotta show openness, you gotta smile to people. I'm not talking about that. You could have like a resting bitch face, okay? But you could be open. And that's what I want to talk about. Your energetic openness to receive love, to give it, to nurture it kindly, with benevolence towards yourself and others. And that's a commitment. It's not something that you kind of test out. I'm going to do this weird energy thing, or I'm going to do this weird nervous system thing. I want you to think about it. Your nervous system runs through the entirety of your body. It protects you and it keeps you in a space of quote unquote things that is protecting you because it senses survival. It senses, you know, people try to hurt you, harm, but it also senses joy. And in its natural habitat, it's meant to be in joy. It's not meant to be in apathy. It's not meant to be in stress. It's not meant to be in hypervigilance, because once it stays too long in hypervigilance, in an absence of trust, it is very difficult for you to actually truly pick up what's currently happening at an emotional level with somebody else. You could live out experiences like karmic, you could call them karmic partners, or you can live out different things, and you'd be like, oh, these just karmic, because you're addressing at a logical level and a nervous system that is rooted in hypervigilance, meaning you're not fully trusting. But just because something looks similar doesn't mean that it's the same thing, because what's happening is that you're training your nervous system to judge. Okay. And when you're training your nervous system to judge instead of having awareness, it's gonna have a certain limiting belief around scarcity, about not being able to trust others, thinking that you can only trust yourself. Welcome. I invite you to watch this video from the very beginning. It's a very powerful video, and I'd love to hear like your comments of what you get from this. So when you're judging and you're like, look at my eyes, you're judging, you're hypervigilance, you're not trusting. You can attract real, raw connection and intimacy that way. It's impossible because you're not trusting, like you're running your nervous system down. You're running like your prana down, your life chi down. You're telling me I'm in danger, I'm in danger, I'm in danger. I can't trust people. So your lighthouse vibration starts to like flicker. What you need to learn as a woman, instead of actually needing to do all these external things to attract, is know how to keep your light on 24/7, which you can. And it's absolutely a must, because your light allows you to see who's actually harmful. But when your light is flickering with so much judgment and pain and anxiety, okay, and self-abandoning, then you cannot fully see it. And you're running on old beliefs and old programs that can actually harm you. Because you're wondering about who can harm you, but are you harming yourself? So you want to keep your light running through you. So how do you do that? It's through openness and alignment. What is openness at the level of the nervous system? You got to be able to trust God, life source, whatever you call it, universe. And you want to trust yourself, and you want to know, have the capacity to trust others. So what does that look like? You got to stop judging, okay? These are intuitive messages I'm hearing. Stop judging, stop lying to yourself. Keep believing that things are possible, and that you're always a magnet for love. Make that distinction very clear. I'm a magnet for love now, because you want to allow the energy and the frequency of love and nurturing to run through you. But this love and this nurturing is not something that you have to like protect against the world. There are trustworthy people out there, and you can always attract them. Okay. So part of what I notice online is that we're being told that in order to attract, you've got to attract, like you got to like love yourself, but protect yourself from people because people are not trustworthy. That's not true. There are people that are trustworthy. A lot of people that are trustworthy. A lot of people that are joyous. A lot of people that would never harm you. A lot of people that would care for you. But if you understand this logically and not on a nervous system level, you're not open. Because your nervous system runs your joy program all over your body and your trust all over your body. So if you're getting anxiety attacks, panic attacks, if you have anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, your nervous system could be wired not to trust. But what you really want to look for is getting your nervous system to feel joy. Why? Joy is one of the highest frequencies there is. Hello, welcome. It's about deep magnetism because you're not needing their love or approval when you're joyful, but you know that you deserve it. Okay. And that can take 4 to 5 or 6 sessions of working deep on your nervous system to change things around. When you know it logically, but you're not seeing it in your reality, like I said, 15 years, 2 years, 3 years, you're not trusting enough. And it's not like, oh, but they don't make me trust them. No, no, no. When your nervous system is in trust, and I get it, like I've experienced different attacks in my life. I've explained it in other videos. I've had PTSD, I've had CPTSD, and I was able to heal it through this methodology. And I've helped people heal it as well. I've helped people heal from anxiety, anxious attachment, panic. Okay, because we just stay present and curious to what was happening in our nervous system. So now this is not a somatic release. Okay, this is a different modality that is based on kinesiology. And it also an auric field with the help of your angels to help you release panic, soul contracts, anxiety at a core level so that you can experience more joy. It helps you with pleasure. And it's okay, no worries. I speak Spanish as well. What language do you speak? So, well, yo hablo español. That's what I can say. So, yeah, when you want to be able to joyfully trust yourself and joyfully trust the world, that makes it magnetic, okay? Where you don't have to be in constant flight or flight and you attract what you want with these. Why? Because it also makes you more intuitive, okay? You can sense the truth when you're not in panic. How about that, right? So that's why when you're in hypervigilance, you see two different circumstances. Like, I was speaking to this with a friend recently. Let's say somebody, a man that looked this way, betrayed you, or you ended things with him. The next time around, you see another man that looks at him, you're like, oh, panic. Like, I'm going to get repeated. I trust the universe. I trust the universe is telling me never to date a man that looks that way, right? That's necessarily intuition. That's hypervigilance, memory, locked in, panic. I'm not going to get love. It's going to be fearful, okay? But when you're relaxed and you're joyful enough in your nervous system, you can sense things more accurately, more divine information comes in, okay? So you want to be magnetic. You want to, not magnetic in outside worlds, but a joyful magnetism running through you where you deeply trust yourself and you're deeply trusting that you're going to receive love and you know you deserve it. Now, if you also want to deepen your intuition, oh, I forgot to then, I have my program Joyous Love. It's a deep dive and clear work with me, nervous system and coaching work with me. The details are below. You can join. I would love for you to join. And if you wanted to add an intuitive component once you join, and I email you the information to join, we can set up an intuition protocol as well to help you boost joyful intuition and joyful knowing. Okay, you don't have to fight or prove your point to a man. You don't have to hide. You don't have to be codependent. You don't need further love and validation. We do need love. Love is a requirement. That's more of the word in life. And a need, that's fine, but we don't need their love and validation. And when you feel like you need people's love and validation, you leak power, the lights start to flicker, right? And you start to self-abandon. Okay, you want to just send out joyful energy, know how to keep it and sustain it. And that is extremely magnetic. It makes you super desirable and it gives you all the love that you want. So I'm going to leave it like that. Send you much love. And if you'd like to join Joyous Love, the information is in the summary and the cap section. And I'll talk to you soon.